It depends on what you're talking about. If we look at different elements of the consent decree, perhaps there are areas that were once partial compliance that have slipped in their percentage of compliance. But if you look at the jail as a whole, if you look at the operation as a whole, I don't think you can say, and I don't even think the monitors would say that if drilled down on, that the overall jail is no better than when it was at the house of detention and when it was at Orleans Parish Prison. Y'all have been there. Y'all have seen what those conditions were like, and certainly what's happening today is not that. The monitors report incidents, for example, but I think there's a significant question about whether or not the number of incidents truly involved all violent incidents. And of course, everyone is concerned with violence at the jail. There's strict reporting requirements for the consent decree, but that doesn't mean that every incident that's required to be reported is a violent incident where harm is caused to someone. And so that's just one example of the fact that does the Sheriff's Office take the monitor report seriously? Absolutely. It is a framework to continue to make progress toward complying with the constitutional requirements of the consent decree. But is it things that, such as, a lawyer who's suing the Sheriff's Office, Katie Schwartzman, has said it's a disaster, it's no different from before? Certainly none of that is true, and I don't think when she makes those kind of statements that is an intellectually honest statement. So there's work to be done, but there's progress that has been made, and the group today is just a very small group of clergy, some of whom weren't even comfortable identifying themselves, and yet there are also members of the faith-based community that have been coming to the jail, seeing the progress that's been made firsthand on a rolling basis, last week, this week. All the time we have leaders in the community coming here to see the progress, and when they do, they almost all universally walk away and say, wow, there's a lot more progress going on than I realized. So we invite those folk who didn't want to come in and see this, who flatly refused the sheriff's invitation to come see the progress in the jail. We invite them and anyone else to come see the progress that's being made and judge for yourselves whether you truly think it's no different from OPP. I don't think anyone in this community can say that being in this building is just like being in the decades-old problems that were brewing in the former jail buildings.